Back to 3 Minutes with the Author. I'm your host, Shail Rajan, and I'm excited to bring you the latest in book news and author interviews. Joining me today is historical fiction author Kerry Chaput, whose latest release, Daughter of Snow and Secrets, Book 3 in the Defying the Crown series, comes out today. Kerry, welcome to the show. Let's jump right in.
Okay.
Hi. What's one thing you'd like readers to know about you and your writing style?
I write historical fiction with a lot of action adventure. My protagonists are really fierce, feisty women who are out to change the world. All of my stories tend to have found family, first love, and always just a little touch of magic in there.
Oh, very nice. Well, tell us a bit about the Defying the Crown series and your latest release.
So the third book in the trilogy is coming out this week, and the trilogy is called the Defying the Crown series, and the final book is called Daughter of Snow and Secrets. And my main character is the head of the Protestant resistance in 17th century Catholic France. And so the whole series has been her sort of stepping into that role and it becoming her whole identifying, factor in her life. And in this final book in the series, she is sort of on her final mission, but the stakes are raised because now her family is on the line. And so she's got some tough decisions to make. And it takes her smack dab to the middle of Versailles.
Oh, wow, that sounds amazing. We're actually heading to Versailles next week. I'm super excited. Well, you must do a lot of research for your book.
I do. Luckily with the series, you do so much research for the first one that you do have a little bit of base knowledge. But then when you jump ahead in even 5 years, it's sort of a different world. So each book took a little bit extra research for, and they kind of bounce back and forth between France and Canada. So there's just waves of research basically that come through.
Yeah, I mean, do you ever find yourself falling down a rabbit hole of research where you're just like, oh, let me dig a little further?
Every day. I mean, I have like the tabs open on my computer, it's nonsense.
Well, where can readers find your books online?
Any of your major sites, Amazon, Bookshop, Barnes & Noble, any of the online sites.
Okay, great. And what's your favorite thing about being an author?
I feel like my favorite thing is the connection between writing and psychology, which is sort of not your usual answer. But I find that through writing and through the creative process, sometimes these deep feelings and emotions and things that I've been trying to work out for my life sort of find their way to the surface. And during the writing process and after, I find myself having awareness about things that I really couldn't have accessed, even just consciously thinking about it. So in a way, I see it as like a conduit to empathy.
Well, I know you post a lot on Instagram, a lot of insights into your writing process and kind of what makes you tick as an author. What's your Instagram handle?
Kerry Writes actually is the same for TikTok, my website, everything is Kerry Writes.
Great. Yeah, you should follow Kerry on Instagram. There's some great content there. Tell me about a great book that you've read this year.
Oh, Kristen Hanna's The Women.
Okay.
She is one of those authors for me that like I clear my schedule the day that she has a book coming out. I go to my indie bookstore, I grab it, and I just like head into it. I always savor her books so much, and I feel like she's sort of like this masterclass in character development. She makes you care so much about these characters, and this one is about a nurse in Vietnam and the struggles that she had coming back. And I love this story because A, we don't have enough stories about Vietnam. It's not a time that is written about a lot. And B, I knew some of the story, but then you bring in the story of what women went through and nurses, and it was really moving, and I highly recommend it.
Excellent. Well, if you could have coffee with any author, who would it be?
I really admire Ruta Sepetys, and she is actually a young adult historical author. She wrote Salt to the Sea, I think is probably the one most people recognize from her. And I just admire her so much. I've read her entire catalog and I can't wait for all of her books to come out. But she writes multi-POV from teenagers and very short chapters, like sometimes one page. And it bounces cycles pretty quickly between sometimes 4 POVs, and somehow she keeps the tension and the interest, and I would just love to pick her brain as to how she does that.
Wow, that's amazing. That's quite a challenge, especially writing from the point of view of a teenager.
I know, right?
All right, well, that's it for us. A huge thank you to my guest, Kerry Chaput, whose new release, Daughter of Snow and Secrets, is now available. I'm your host, Shail Rajan. Thanks for joining us on 3 Minutes with the Author. Stay tuned for info on how to watch more episodes, find books by my guests, and see who else will be joining us. Thanks, Kerry.
Thanks, Shail.